Here we are in the inner sanctum, the last place for athletes to center their thoughts, get those emotions under control, and get ready to lay absolutely everything on the line. And tonight, it's more important than ever because it's the last opportunity to go to the World Championships. This is the last chance qualifier.
Do it like that.
Vamos!
Do it like that. Do it like that. Do it like that. Do it like that.
So here we are, where it all counts. These are who have qualified for Chicago's Worlds in June already. Topped, of course, by our defending world champion, Alexander Ronchevich. But look at those names down the bottom. 13 through 15 are still to be decided. And that decision is going to come down to this race today in Barcelona. Delighted to be joined by Greg Williams from The Rocks Live. And Greg, I'm not sure it gets more exciting than this.
No, it doesn't. One last chance qualifier, one race to claim 3 spots for this amazing Elite 15 race in Chicago. And the field tonight is so strong. There's so many guys that have been, I think, had their eye on this race for almost a year now, thinking that this is their best opportunity to claim that Elite 15 spot. The field is so strong. And the standard of athletes that we're going to see tonight is so high.
I think Sean Noble said it best to me, that you could finish 20th and still have an incredible race. That's how deep this field is. It's unbelievable. There's former world champions in that list. There's so many Elite 15 athletes who have yet to claim their spot. And there are a number of returning individuals. And the question we're all going to ask is, do these guys still have what it takes? And at the top of that list, it's got to be Lucas Storath.
Yeah. A former world champion. He's been around the sport pretty much since the start. I think he was the first guy to go sub-60 in the pro division, and you saw there the list of people that have now been able to go sub-60, sub-58 in reality. But he's always been near the top of the sport, and he's in pretty good form as well. He ran a 51 minutes along with Meg Jacobi in Cologne recently in the doubles, and he raced in Paris recently as well and done another 51 minutes with Thiago Lusa. So he's fast at the moment. I think he's one of the favourites today for sure.
I don't even know how to set this guy up because he's just a gem, right? Tobias Lautvine, he's got so many accolades. Barely races, turns up and takes podiums.
Yeah, another former world champion as well, a former world record holder. But like you said, when he turns up, when he races, he always performs really well, and I think he'll be in the mix tonight.
Him, Geoffrey Voissat, of course, from France, who's had a huge amount of Elite 15 experience under his belt. But that group, how do we expect them to fare against the likes of the youth that is coming through at the moment?
It remains to be seen. They've certainly got the experience. Like you said, Joffrey's raced in the majors but not been able to quite get that qualification spot this year. But like you suggested, really, there's a huge amount of younger talent coming through, really fast guys that are going to give them a run for their money.
And speaking of those younger talent, Yannick Chapler is one of those names that just falls off my tongue. He had one unbelievable race, wasn't quite enough, and he's not quite lived up to that since, but this is the last opportunity that he can run this home.
Yeah. In Amsterdam, the first major of the season, I think he finished 4th in a really impressive time, and we expected to see him push on from there and maybe claim a spot before now. But he's raced in the majors, he's done reasonably well, but not lived up to that Amsterdam potential. But yeah, he'll be in the mix tonight for sure.
I love it. It's experience versus age, and there are so many familiar faces from across the Elite 15. And if you look just there, the Irishman Sean Noble looking for a big comeback after what's been a difficult few weeks in preparation. Evan Humphreys out of Wales, and of course Jonathan Wynne. He's been to 2 World Championships, and he's not yet ready or managed to claim to go to his 3rd. And it all comes down to tonight. Evan Humphreys, a Welshman with something to prove.
Yeah. And we don't see him race a huge amount, but when he does, he puts in some really impressive times. I don't think he can put in the training volume that a lot of these guys are every week in, week out. Like he works for a living, but when he races, when he performs, like he puts in some really quick times. We've seen him in the majors. Another one who performed well in Amsterdam, actually, and I think he was around 4th as we got to the later stages of the race, then just dropped away a little, and I think he maybe finished 7th that day. I think he likes this environment. I think he likes a race with a lot of guys, maybe more so than the Elite 15 racing. So, yeah, excited to see what he can do tonight.
Not dissimilar to Avan, Gabe Heck had similar performances in the Elite 15 field. We saw in Hong Kong that he can fight with the best. It's just about closing out races. Yeah.
Gabe I think he was 18 seconds off of qualifying in Hong Kong. He races a lot in Asia. That's where he lives, and he tends to win those pro races. So again, he likes the race. He can win a race. He's maybe struggled to qualify for all the Elite 15 races, but when he did so in Hong Kong, he showed up. So yeah, excited to see what he can do tonight.
And then on the end of that list, there was Sebastian Iversen, and we have seen on Instagram that he suffered a bit of a calf strain and may or may not be able to run. But if he can, what can we expect from him?
Yeah, we saw him in Hong Kong as well, actually. He didn't perform quite as well as he wanted, but I think he had some trouble on the burpees. I think he got a penalty there, which affected his race a little bit. But he's put in some impressive times. In Copenhagen, he put down a really, really fast time. So if he's fit, he'll be in the mix, but it remains to see what that calf strain is going to do to him.
And of course, there's Sadiq El-Fattori, who has played quite a large part in the early start of the majors season. And alongside Sadiq, Jonathan Wynn. 2 World Championships to his name, a number of brilliant midfield performances, and he's just narrowly missed out on that qualification spot every single time.
Yeah.
Today has to be his day.
You'd think so, but I think we keep saying that in a way. Like he raced really well in the first 3 majors of the season, didn't quite get that spot, and we felt like Glasgow was going to be the opportunity, and the illness affected him that day and he had to DNF. But today, I think he likes a race as well. I think he'll like there's a big field that he can get amongst it. He's going to dig deep, that's for sure, like John. And he's got the times. I think he deserves to be in the Elite 15 race for sure.
As racers go, they don't come more mentally strong than the likes of John Wynn.
No, yeah. But we could probably say that about a lot of guys in this field, like Sean we've touched on already. Like they're going to dig deep, but yeah, John is really mentally strong. We know he can dig deep in a race like this, and I think he's really gonna do that tonight.
You've said his name now, Sean Noble. I mean, if we just look at what happened off the back of the last major, where he thought he had qualified, but then a penalty applied a couple of days later meant that that position went to Thomas Turtvig, and he's back for more. I mean, the courage to do that is something else.
Yeah. I think he really, really wants it. I think he's going to feel like this is his position to claim after narrowly missing out in Glasgow, and he's got the potential to do it, that's for sure.
He certainly does. And when we did have the opportunity to catch up with him, he only had one thing on his mind, and that was claiming a spot and hoping for a little less drama this time.
Hi, I'm Sean Noble, and I'm back. No, I don't like that. That was crap. In Glasgow, I didn't know anything because I hadn't trained properly before it, so I felt like I was the underdog big time. I'm now the underdog, but now people are trying to put me up. I'm like, no, I still want to be the underdog. I don't want to be put up as a favourite or in any race, you know what I mean? So now people are like, look out for Sean Noble, I don't want that. Yeah, it looks like that, but I think, to be honest, I looked at the lineup and I could, in theory, come 25th and have a great race because the lineup is just stacked. It's unbelievable. The best of the best. This, in my opinion, will be tougher than an Elite 15 race. If you win this race, nobody can ever talk about times on courses, anything. If you win this race, I think it's all bragging rights. I initially wasn't going to race this race. I put my health in jeopardy. I was thinking about my family. I was thinking about my girlfriend, my partner. I was walking down the stairs and I was limping. I didn't want to jeopardize my long-term health because there was a big risk. I was told 8 weeks to even run before Glasgow, and I competed in 5 weeks. And then after the race, I was in a jogger. I was in a bad way. So I wasn't going to race, and then I made a promise to someone, and I wish I didn't make that promise now because I would have stopped this a long time ago. But I made a promise to someone, and I'm committed to fulfill that promise. That's the story of my life. If anyone knows me, there's always like my granddad and my girlfriend is like, there's always drama with you. Why is there always drama with you? I don't want any more drama. I even if I don't qualify tomorrow, I just want to go home and say I gave it my all and I was beat. There was no drama. So yeah, no more adversity, no more drama. Let's just keep it, you know, boring from now on. A lot of people were putting me down earlier on the year, questioning me as an athlete, which really hurt me because one thing I do know, I might not be the smartest, but I know I can compete. I think I've proved everyone wrong, to be honest with you. For me, like I'm racing the last chance qualifier, I don't really see it as I just want to get in Elite 15. I want to be number one, and I'm not at that level yet, so I know that. So I have a good bit to go. And if I don't get it, I had a great year, and it's been amazing, and I've met incredible people. One thing I'll say, and I don't know what's going on, I'm getting some amount of people that are like saying, I really, your story's inspiring, and like I'm like, oh, you're interested in, like, you know what I mean? I had 100 followers on Instagram a year ago. I think it's nearly at 12,000, which is just, what's going on? Like, it's becoming something bigger than just running around an event for an hour. I'm starting to, like, talk to people and say, give them my background, my story, what helped me get through times of adversity, and then that's helping people. And that for me transcends sport, transcends what I'm doing. I'm not just throwing wall balls and running around sweaty with no top on. So that for me is the biggest thing, If I do punch my ticket here, it'll be earned, I think.
Of course, you've seen how deep this field is. And Greg, there are a number of names that we've not seen in the Elite 15 season, but could still cause an upset. And for me, Eugenio Bianchi has proven in the last couple of weeks that he's going to fight with the best. Yeah, we've seen Eugenio in previous Elite 15 races, not this season, though. He's a very, very fast athlete. He raced in Paris last weekend, got an Elite 15 double spot along with Bo Wills. They put down a very, very fast time there, so we know he's in good form. Excited to see what he can do tonight. And not dissimilarly, Jake Williamson raced a PB in Glasgow in the pro division, a 57.04. What does that tell you about him and this race tonight? Yeah, he's in contention. Because that Glasgow race, like the pro division, not the elite race that night, was a really strong field. Like there was a lot of guys there that night that are here tonight, and Henny put down like a really, really good time there in that field. So yeah, excited to see what he can do. He has said, because we spoke to him a little bit earlier on, that he's got a bit of a head cold. How, as an athlete, when you know you're not at that 100%, do you center yourself and get ready for a race as important as this one? Yeah, it's tough because you know you need to be on peak form. You're going to push your body to the limit tonight, and if your body's not really ready for that, then it can affect you. And maybe he's got in his head that he's not going to be on peak form already, but hopefully he can turn it around. He's proven himself an unbelievable athlete, and as in Glasgow, we know he's a great commentator as well. Jake Williamson, though, is coming into Barcelona in a full circle moment, and I got the opportunity to catch up with him in the Hyrox shop just yesterday. So Barcelona, last chance qualifier, you're literally racing tomorrow. How are you feeling about it?
Big moment, big stage. I think that's what Hyrox is all about now. It's like getting the best of the best racing against each other. So I'm very excited. I'm a little bit nervous, but yeah, it's going to be a pretty big moment. It was actually my first ever Hyrox 2 years ago.
Was it?
Yeah,
no way.
Barcelona, this venue.
What's really cool about this weekend is obviously not just the elites racing. We also have doubles, and now I feel like the Sandbag is almost like more important on the doubles. Is there a good way to transition this?
With transition, I like to kind of help my partner out and be a little bit aggressive. So take it pretty heavy off them, and then you can go straight into that next step and drive through, so you don't have to think about kind of switching over and putting it on their back, because I've seen that happen a few times, and then trying to grab the handles can be quite difficult. So I like to just be aggressive, take the handles from the side, because there's quite a lot of them. You can take your pick and then go from there. Now, we always talk about the kettlebell as the place where we see where the athlete's mind is at on a race course, because quite often you wouldn't put these down, right? The plan is not to drop them. I think as soon as you drop them, you're going to lose 10 seconds at least automatically. So me personally, I quite like to actually take the grip a little bit further forwards. Okay. Just a personal preference that I've been trying out in training, which works quite well for me and puts a little bit less strain through the forearm as well. This bad boy is like the subject of every single conversation, the sled. I think if you watch the race, you're going to see most people adopt the arms down, hands on the thing, drive through, and then you can always rest your chin on the bar as well.
There's obviously a couple of ways as well, I feel, because as an elite, you have found the most efficient way. But me as like a community racer, I have to adapt a little bit more to my body, perhaps.
Agreed, but you've got to find what works for you, and that's the main thing. Is there's not one size fits all. This for me is the most efficient technique, and one that I've found and most of the elites find is more beneficial. But find what works for you. Again, using the center equipment in your gyms or at home is going to be the best way to do that, because you get a chance to play around and have some fun.
It's exciting because especially as we look ahead to Worlds, we're going to have some new turf as well designed by Sandbag.
Yeah, I've not used it yet, but I am excited. I think it might be in the New York, and also when we get to Worlds, it's going to be in play. So excited to try it out. Should be good fun, and hopefully you'll see me on the dance floor.
Crush it. So here we go. The race of the season. No, the race of the year. It is all going down in Barcelona for the final 3 spots to go to the World Championships in Chicago. And calling this one, it is Greg Williams of the Rocks Life and the 3rd member of our team, the wonderful Till Schenk.
It is time for the next showdown of the day. We've seen an unbelievable and incredible race in the women's elite. If you missed it, you gotta watch the rerun. It's been drama, it's been surprises, it's been heartbreak and tears. But now it is time for the last chance qualifier here from Barcelona with Hugo Hugemark, you know, styling up the start shoot here with the neon yellow. Sonny's ready to race. We're just under a minute away from the start for our men's elite at the last chance qualifier here in Barcelona. On my side, once again, the man with all the info, all the data, all the knowledge. Greg, again, great to have you here. Are you ready for yet another exciting race? Can your heart take it?
It can't. This is such an exciting race. This could be race of the season that we've seen here. The lineup is stacked.
It is stacked, and they got 5 seconds to go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready. It is time to race in Barcelona. Here we go, last chance qualifier, the men elite. Greg, we've seen an insane race in the women's. Everybody left absolutely everything out there. We've seen a surprise in 1 and 2. We've seen the drama, we've seen the heartbreak. But now it is time for our men. After what you've seen in the women's race, do you even still dare in any way to call it?
No, I think the men's field is even harder to call. There's such a huge number of guys that have been able to run like sub 58 minutes in the pro division, which is insane, really. You know, we used to talk about going sub 60 was like, you know, there was only a few guys that could do that, and now there's a huge field that can go sub 58, and so yeah, it's incredibly hard to call this race.
With our leaders into workout number 1. Oh, and a little bit of drama there for Christian, for the Polish athlete. He ran in and didn't grab the SkiErg in time, and it was just running forth and back a little bit and lost a few seconds there trying to find a free spot.
You know, we've talked about many times on these live streams, it's easy to go too fast on the ski and just push yourself a little bit too hard, and that can affect the rest of your race. But the temptation to do that tonight, when you know it's such a stacked field and every second counts, it's going to be a real temptation here to push the ski to the absolute limit, but that could make or break your race at the end of the day.
Oh, completely. But you look at the front here, we're seeing a very familiar flag that we've seen a lot in the front in the women's race as well. So Kees Aardenbach from the Netherlands taking the lead, going into the SkiErg ahead of Camille Kuzmira. And then, of course, here in Barcelona, Emilio Agallo in 3rd. The Spanish crowd going ballistic, but then Florian Gast, Lucas Storat, the 2 Germans in 4th and 5. Very strong athletes at the workout stations.
It looks like Sean Noble's having a pretty good ski here. He's, you know, he came in 13th. I think he's going to leave ahead of that. Athan Humphreys as well. You know, I think he could come out in 1st position here. We've seen him in some Elite 15 races this year. He's just not been able to get that qualifying spot, but he looks like he's starting strongly here.
And Eugenio Bianchi really going strong here, together with Florian Gast. But Evan Humphreys, you said it, he is out. Christian Paremba coming through as well. But look at how busy it is, how close they are. Jake Williamson and Hugemar coming through as well. Jake Williamson, he's feeling a little bit sick going into the race here. It looked like he might have picked up a little bit of cold. But of course he's going to try it here, and Johnny wins, and that is another one of those really interesting ones here. Johnny he's put everything into trying to go to the World Championship, and here we go. Look at Eugenio Bianchi in the black cap. He's right there as well. I think we've seen Charlie Bottrell move in there as well.
Yeah, and then Hidder's taking the first pause there. Just like we saw Lena Putters do in the first race. Charlie's moved that first lane really, really well.
One thing we've learned from the women's race is the sleds aren't moving particularly fast today. So this is gonna set the field apart. It's gonna give us a little bit of an indication, you know, who's got a shot here at the top three or not, because the ones in the women's race that lost at the sleds never came back. Yeah, absolutely. I was just talking to John Wynn actually in the warm-up area about this, and he's saying, I want heavy sleds. You know, he knows he's good on the sleds. He wants that to be a differentiator, and maybe just like gain some time on the faster run as the lighter guys in this field. That's what he wants. So it'd be interesting to see how he does here. If he can come out of here in a good position, I think he'll be very, very, very happy with that. Oh, and you got to love Charlie Bottrell in the black cap. Sorry, I said Eugenio Bianchi, but it's Charlie Bottrell actually whipping his head there right now. You got to love him. You know, he races in the 16 to 24. He set another 2 H-Route World Records in Cologne just 2 weeks ago, and he's right at the moment. He's still walking the thin line between, you know, flying on this high right now, getting better and better, and maybe doing a little bit too much.
Yeah, like this is his first race this weekend, and that's very rare. You can get to a Saturday night and for that to be Charlie's first race. Normally he races like 3 or 4 times during the weekend, doing a men's doubles, a mixed doubles, a solo race, open, pro. So if he's come into this race and he's tapered, it will be interesting to see what he's like really capable of.
Oh, and look at it right now. Basically in the lead we've got Charlie Bottrell, and then we got Lucas Storrat. So we got the 16 to 24 and the 40 to 44, and Lucas Storrat, the experience, going past a little bit. Charlie taking a breather there, giving Hidde Versma a chance to catch up. A lot of athletes still very close together in this second out of 8 workout stations. Yeah, solid move from Charlie.
Yeah, a lot of breaks though. They're all taking more breaks than you might typically see. And there's Lucas Storrat, another one who relished the heavy sleds, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Lucas Storrat out in first. Charlie Bottrell behind him. Hidde Versma now coming through as well. We've just seen waiting for the other guys to come through here. Kamil Kuzmina made the way out. Geoffrey was now out as well. All I'm saying is, we've seen in the women's race, keep your cool, know your strengths, stick to your pace, is going to pay off in the end. So we got our leaders, Emilia Gallo, Lucas Storrat, Hidde Versma and Charlie Bottrell. So Spain, Germany, the Netherlands and UK in the lead. They're mere 2 seconds apart, and the chasers now in as well. Little bit of a gap there. We've seen that after the slap push. It was in the range just under 30 seconds.
Hidde Versma there in third spot. I wondered what that sled push had done to him. Like it looked like he struggled a little bit more on the sled push than Lucas and Charlie, for example. I wondered how much it had damaged his legs, but that run looks reasonably strong. To have come in with these guys, it's maybe not hit him that bad.
And very interesting to see in this first lane, Emilia Gallo, especially towards the end, he's doing better now. He was not using the room he's got to move backwards. He's doing a lot better now. He was pulling a lot just out of upper body, but now utilizing his legs a little more. But Hidde Versma, he is right now the best mover in the sled pull, the tall grown Dutchman.
Where Hidde came unstuck last week in Paris for the Elite 15 doubles qualification was at the wall ball station. They really lost a lot of time there. So if he wants to qualify, he's going to want to open up a gap on like at least the 4th spot in this race by the time the wall balls come.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. But if you look at him, it's beautiful to see. He's one of the athletes who doesn't utilize the arms at all. It's all upper body, so very low grip. And then he utilizes the length, that angle that he's got with the tall upper body to move the sled backwards. Same we're sort of kind of seen with Lucas Storad. I think he's just a tiny bit slower because he's a tiny bit smaller or shorter when it comes to that kind of technique.
See John Wynn just on the left of the screen there. Like this sled pull in particular is his strong station. We've seen him make up like a huge amount of time in Elite 15 majors just on the sled pull alone. So it'd be interesting to see where he is coming out of here. Can he pull back some time here?
But again, if we're looking at the times, you know, Sean Noble in 10th, still only 25 seconds down. It is so close. We've definitely not seen the same kind of moves at the sled pull as we've seen in the women's. The men staying much closer together right now, predicting a much more exciting or closer race for the top 3 in the end. And here we go. We would say this is the split times coming in. That's what I said. Sean Noble, you know, bottom right and corner, 25 seconds down. And Charlie Bottrell, potentially, we see it down there, you know, not his strongest workout. The young man from the UK. It looks a little bit like he went out with a lot of excitement. He looked fairly tired already, hanging on to the top 3 coming into the workout, and then he's not losing a lot of ground. He's losing the ground on Hidde Versma, who is out. Here we go with the Dutchman. So he's going to be first out. Next one is going to be Emilio Agallo, the Spanish man with the cycling cap here up front. He was in second. And Johnny Wynn, you said it. This is his workout. He's made the move. There he is. You would want for him to qualify, but then you want that for everybody who lines up. And Sean Noble out as well. Here we go. Just coming through the picture. Charlie Bottrell losing a few positions, but out now as well. And Christian, here we go, bottom left-hand corner, shaven head and stash. So our Polish man Christian, slight confusion there on where to go. He had to be turned around to find his way back to the track. And this is the interesting one to see. We over and over see some of our taller athletes struggle a little bit at the burpees. We've seen it with Amelia Dahmen. She was able to hold on to the lead, but she dropped about 20 seconds on the top 5 chasers coming from behind. And here we go, Emilio Agallo in as well. Into the burpees, workout number 4. But ladies and gents, let me tell you right now, we're hearing from behind in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th start wave, just out on the check as well. We've got insanely fast athletes racing as well. So this one will be a very interesting, a very tricky one to predict after this first start wave. There's fast athletes coming from behind. They might be able to move themselves into the top 3 fastest times. And I'm waiting for confirmation from our directors, but I believe we've seen exactly this scenario happen in the women's race. I believe we've got more heartbreak in the women's race in that 3rd spot, which allows you to qualify for the World Championship. So let's see how this is going to go in the men's here, because I think we've got even more strong men coming from behind. So hold your breath, stay tuned, not just for this first wave, but for the waves coming from behind as well. So we got Hidde Versma through that first lane. Here we go again. Judges looking very careful. But we've still got Emilio Agallo hot on his heels. But then the chasers are coming from behind with Alan Ploy, one of the very strong Slovenian athletes. Johnny Wynn still right up there. Tom Rogers from Australia, Lucas Storad, Geoffrey Mozart, Sean Noble, Charlie Bottrell and Harry Thompson. Now 47 seconds down as we see that aerial shot of Hyrox jumping into the pictures. This is your leader, but on the left-hand bottom screen, you see the yellow shoes of Emilio Agallo, the Spanish man who is chasing him hard. Greg, fair to say, this is hurting right now. You cannot back down.
No, you can't. You see, they've got to dig deep. They can't afford to push the standards too much here. Position of their hands. If they get a penalty, that's going to push them back and could literally break their race. They have to, they really got to dig deep, but stay in the movement standards.
Leapfrogging along the burpees. And left-hand side, you just saw that look from Emilio Agallo over his right-hand shoulder. He got really surprised coming out of the sled pole with Johnny Wynn being on his shoulder, apologise. Now he got really surprised by Alan Ploy going past him as well in the grey shirt. I believe that's Alan Ploy. And here we go, long jump, and off he goes out onto the track. Emilio Agallo right there as well. Lucas Storat, he's got one more jump.
Tom Rogers leaving there, and then Lucas Storer. Tom Rogers is already qualified for the Elite 15 doubles. He got his spot in Melbourne earlier in the season, qualifying along with Chris Woolley.
And look at Geoffrey Voisin coming out as well. Oh, still so close here. Sean Noble coming out now as well. He was.
Oh, he's been called back.
Oh, they called him back. He missed the burpee. He stepped on the line on that last hit. Okay, so, but he's not the only one. We just saw another one being called back. You got to keep it clean, you want to get over that line. And here we go. Here we go. A little head-to-head. Lucas Storat, our first Hyrox World Champion, and Johnny Wynn. So this is the splits we're seeing here. The comparison still very well within reach of those top three spots, with Lucas Storat run through the picture with a great bandana just now. So went out in a 3:07 for that first run. Then after 7:14 done with the SkiErg, another really fast run, 10:54 into the sled push. And if you look at the times, Johnny Wynn, I mean, obviously the sled, that was his move, right? Sled pull, 9 seconds that he took out of Lucas Storat, and they're shoulder to shoulder now, kept the same pace at the burpees on the way to the row. But he's feeling it. He is feeling the race right now. He is cheering. He wants to make this a Dutch victory in Barcelona. But then again, Emilio Agallo, the man from Spain, clear home to a crowd advantage. There is no doubt the Spanish are going to go get loud. They're going to get wild and push him through that second half of the race. Tom Rogers is in, and so is Lucas Storat. Not a lot of room to breathe. Versma still about 80 meters ahead of Agallo, and then right on his shoulders, we're seeing Tom Rogers, and it's literally going forth and back. The one moment Rogers is averaging a second faster than Agallo, and then Agallo is averaging a second faster than Rogers. They're going to keep it up. They're going to keep the tension up all the way to the end here to, maintain their chance. Again, we've seen so much drama. I'm holding my breath. I'm a little bit worried and really excited for the balls to happen in not too long.
Yeah. Interesting that they're so close on pace there. I wonder. What we don't know is what that's doing to him. He's like Hidder, for example, cruising at 148, whereas Emilio's really busting the gut at 148. That's what we don't know. It's interesting that they're running at the road at the same pace though. Maybe Hidder's sitting there thinking, I'm just happy to preserve that lead and then and see where I go for the rest of the race.
I mean, they both looked incredibly smooth, and Hidder Versma, he is out. Let's see if he's cheering the crowds again. Nope, focusing on getting ready for that run. And he did open that gap a little bit on Agallo. Look at that. Here we go. Rogers, he's right with him. It's all about a fast transition now, getting out of the clips. And here we go. Agallo and Rogers out shoulder to shoulder. Lucas Storat is going to be next. He's going to find another gear. He's got to find another gear. Not gonna. To see if he can move himself back into those top three. So as it stands, Hidder Versma ahead of Emilio Agallo, Tom Rogers, Lucas Storat,
Eugenio and Bo. And there he is coming in now into the next station, looking still strong on his running, and he's going to pick up the farmer's carries here. Interesting to see how he can do on this station, but yeah, looking really, really strong in his running so far.
Oh, absolutely. Coming in, here we go. Your leader, Hyrox, farmer's carry. We've seen very different approaches, or we will see very different styles. Some of them go out real hard, but they'll have to stop and drop the kettlebells. Others trying to go smooth, hang on to them. But what a tight race. Emilio Agallo still very close, so is Tom Rogers. Hyrox, this is the man in the lead, but the boys from behind, it looks like they had a slightly stronger run. So just making up a little bit of time. And now we're seeing Hyrox a little more pumping, a little more fight in his face, and a little less celebrating with the crowds. Lucas Storad, did you see that look? He's like, eyes on the competition. He worked so hard. He fought so hard to be here in Barcelona, trying in his 40s to qualify for another World Championship at the Last Chance Qualifier. But this is the man to beat right now. But look at the gaps. Emilio Agallo, he clawed back just over 10 seconds on Hyrox on that run. Tom Rogers also got about 6 seconds on Hyrox, who is still in the lead, but the boys are coming from behind, and that's the carrot to chase right now. Yeah. I mean, they got Hyrox motivation right now to run him down. Yeah,
you can see where the other athletes are on the farmer's carriage. You can see what the sort of gap is. You also know how, like in your own mind, how you perform in the latter stages of this race. How are your lunges? How are your wall balls? Like you're going to be conscious of that and how much you need to push on these runs if you're not that strong on the stations. Now, I would say in that lead pack, my feeling is that Tom Rogers has got some of the strong wall balls out of these guys, like Hidden and Emilio, Lucas. Like their most recent wall balls have been over 4 minutes, really, 4.5 minutes. Emilio's was over 5 minutes. So Tom Rogers was around 3:39, I think, in his most recent race. So he's got some time to make up there.
Oh, and look at Bianchi making his move. I know, he's actually one left behind. It was like he's so close to Lucas Storad now. How did he do that? But he had to go into that second lap. So Lucas Storad maintaining his 4th spot. Johnny Wynn dropping 1 back behind Ploy. Great move there from Alan Ploy. Yeah, Yannick Chapla only coming in now. Fair to say, we expected a little more today. And here we go, Hyrox and Emilio Agallo. They stayed together. Here we go, grabbing those sandbags into the lunges. I do not want to be in that position right now. Because you know you're up there, you don't want to let the other guy go.
No, you don't. You've got to push yourself to your absolute limit here, step for step. Let's see if they can match each other.
That is beautiful. That's Olympic. That is synchronized, what we're seeing there right now. Those two, purely for the looks, they should team up for synchronized sandbag lunging at the Olympics. But look at the man behind. Look over the left-hand shoulder.
Yeah, Tom Rogers looking strong. I think he clawed back a little bit of time on that run as well, maybe.
And just look at how they go in the cadence, and he's not as tall grown as Hyrox is. I think he's making up inch by inch the same way that Emilio Agallo is just moving a tiny bit away from Hyrox. Takes a long step there to finish those lunges. This is the point now where it's less about your body and more about your head. You got to push it to the limit, and this is also the time where you got to start willing to risk it. Can you stop?
There's Lucas Storad there stepping through. John Wing closely behind him. John looking a little bit stronger here on the lunges, stepping through a little bit quicker. Lucas taking some pauses, but John's pushing himself. Like you just talked to about, like this is more about your mind than your body. You know these two guys are going to dig deep. John there, like really pushing himself, stepping through, looking good at the moment.
Oh, look at those three. But Tom Rogers, he oversteps, so he's called back for another lunge. It's not terrible yet. It's a couple of seconds, but we've seen throughout the season what a difference a couple of seconds can make. Hyrox he's hanging on to his lead there. Tom Rogers coming through as well, and it looks like Hyrox might have had a slightly better feel for his body and how fast to start here, as John Wynn is dropping Lucas Storer. John Wynn going or moving himself into 4th, but how close can he get to the leaders? We know he is willing to fight. We know he's willing to leave it absolutely all out there. The man, if you follow him on social media, he's constantly up running on Mallorca, where he lives, at 4:30 in the morning, getting those workouts in.
Former Australian Special Forces, you know, he knows how to dig deep. He's told me before he's like miscounted laps in a race because he's just like he's hurting so much that he loses his mind and he can't even like count the laps, and he needs people to help doing that for him. So he's really digging deep here. And it looks like Tom Rogers has passed Hidout and Emilio here.
We've got a new leader in Tom Rogers. Look at that. But the other two are still very, very close. This is the last lane. You want to make sure to keep your focus. Look at him, like literally just cutting to the side to making sure he doesn't waste an inch there. Emilio out as well. He's just about 4 seconds behind. And Johnny Wynn. Woo. What's your take on his wall balls?
Jonathan, fairly solid warbles. I think he's got. You typically expect him to have a stronger warbles than Emilio and Hida for sure. Tom's, I think, are fairly strong, but I don't know if the gap's too big. You know, he's moving well on these lunges, but the guy's left the station a few seconds ago, so he's got some time to make up here.
Just to pitch it to you again that you have to see the women's race. We've seen athletes push it to 90 and then run completely out of energy, and we see the drama there. We've seen as many as 20 no reps in our women's elite. So much can still happen at the wall balls. We're on the way, everybody out there. This is the last chance qualifier here in Barcelona. Again, we've got several start waves, but right now it looks like our first start wave might be the fastest of the day. We're keeping a close look at the athletes behind, but right now it is about the top 3. It is about being inside the top 3 in this first start wave after finishing the wall balls and bringing it across the finish line. And Charlie Bottrell just coming in now. He went out with a bang, and then he went bang. Emilio Agallo with the cycling cap. He is turning left into the wall balls now as well. Tom Rogers is in already. Here he goes as the leader, and it looks like both of them drop Hyrox just a little bit. Here we go. They are in the final workout. Tom Rogers is going to be the first one at the wall balls, starting it off with a no rep. This is where it matters. Another no rep for Tom Rogers. You got to keep him clean, so you need to go deep enough, but you also got to hit the target center. And right now, Tom Rogers struggling just a little bit with his coordination. 3 no reps already, giving Agallo the chance to get close to him. But we've heard Emilio Agallo, he might struggle a little bit at the wall balls. Hyrox there as well. Greg, you said it, Hyrox also wall balls, not his absolute strong suit. The question is, how far back is Johnny Wynn?
Yeah, so these guys have been in for around 45 seconds so far. Still no sign of John Wynn, so I think he may have lost some time on that run as well. He needs to get in quickly. I think his most recent warbles are 1 minute quicker than Emilio Agallo's, but Emilio's now been in here for 1 minute, so John's just coming in. This could be quick, it could be very close, but I must say Emilio's started very, very strongly here. He's looking good.
Oh, Emilio's starting off real strong, Tom Rogers, but they all got a fair amount of no reps already, and you're going to see Johnny Wynn go absolutely ballistic now. And you know, you look at Hyrox, he looks solid enough, but it looks like he's lacking that flexibility that some other athletes has. He's got a very wide stance. It's very energy costly, I want to say. So let's see who's gonna take that first real break here. Alan Ploy now in the grey shirt in as well, next to Johnny Wynn. But laser focus for Johnny Wynn. You see the reps at the bottom. Johnny Wynn is still a little bit behind Agallo. 20 reps to be exact, but Agallo 9 no reps already. Johnny Wynn only 1. Tom Rogers in the lead. But Hyrox, look at that. He's trying to prove you wrong right now, Greg. He's gone through half of them, and he is still really close to Tom Rogers.
And I think that was a first break there for Emilio as well. He's 12 no reps in, but he had his first break as well there. But John Wynn looking really, really strong. Only 2 no reps are in, and his cycle rate, like the rate he's moving through these reps is much quicker than some of the other guys.
And he brought it from 20 reps behind Agayo down to 12 now already within the last 20 reps. We're only halfway through. Agayo no repping again, and he is getting tired now. This is what we talked about. This is the struggle. He left it all out there, but he has taken a break, and he's got 14 no reps already.
Yeah, I think it's his depth. I think it's the depth of his squat that he's getting pulled up on here. 15 no reps, that's hugely costly in time and energy.
Johnny Wynn at 50 now. He is getting closer and closer. He's doing this thing again. You said it before. He is the man who's able to do them unbroken. Tom Rogers, I have no doubt. He's got to, well, okay, I'll correct that after what we've seen in the women's race. I might have a little bit of doubt. It's not over until it's over, but he's looking strong. He's looking smooth. What a fantastic race by Tom Rogers with 10 to go now. Hyrox has taken the break. He was so close, but now Tom Rogers is gone. He's got 7 no reps, but he's only got 5 reps to go. Johnny Wynn moved himself into 3rd now at the wall balls. And at that rate, if Vasma takes another break, Johnny Wynn might come in 2nd, but Tom Rogers bringing it home, setting the first fast time here in Barcelona. Tom Rogers, what a race, but look at it behind Hyrox. It looks like he can hold it together. He is holding off Johnny Wynn coming from behind. He's got 4 to go, and Agayo is at the limit. Even Ploy has gone past. And 104 Hyrox across the line in 2nd. And Johnny Wynn now only 10 reps away from the finish line. Oh, look at Agayo, 23 no reps. Johnny Wynn taking a quick breather here with now 5 to go. And he's got to push it. Time matters. There's fast athletes in the waves coming from behind. You're not safe once you're through here. And here we go. Come on. Oh, he is struggling. He left it all out there as well. Come on. 2 reps is all he needs. Here we go. Johnny Wynn. He left it all out there. He is empty. He emptied the tank, but he is across the line in 3rd. And that is the time for everybody else behind now that they need to match. And a break. Alan Ploy taking a break as well now. He's got 11 no reps, but Geoffrey Voza, here we go.
What a performance from those top guys there. Tom Rogers, 56 something, 56.05 from Tom Rogers. What a race, like to win a race of this caliber is very, very impressive.
And we're just watching very closely here, a little bit of drama. We are stuck at 99 wall balls that we're seeing from Voisin. He's gone across the line. Our head ref is down at the wall balls, double checking with the referee, and it is confirmed. Geoffrey was missing a wall ball. He's going to get a 10-second penalty for missing the wall ball. More drama at the last chance qualifier here. Was the man who can go unbroken. Greg, you said it, but he only went 99 unbroken.
yeah, couldn't do 100, but that's still an impressive finish from Geoffrey. I wouldn't necessarily have got him in that position at that time. Yeah, he dug deep there to get that. But yeah, I think that 10-second penalty could be costly if someone pulls out.
And Emilio Agayo across the line. He came in basically with the shot of his life to go to the World Championship, but he lost big time at the wall balls. Just coming across the line now. The man from Spain, Harry Thompson behind, Philip Bamser from Germany next across the line, still staying under the 1 hour mark. But what a race again. It's been the longest wait, and it was a true nail biter in the end, but we've got final confirmations. of our leaderboard here. Tom Rogers taking it in style in 56.05 with this beautiful move towards the end of the race. Hyrox fully in control of where he needed to be, and Johnny Wynn doing it again. Last chance qualifier. He was on point when he needed to be, and Joffrey was putting himself into a really good position as the first runner-up in case somebody doesn't show up to the Worlds. What a race it's been. We've seen some great new names like Liam McCrory up there. Sean Noble, the drama of this season. Can't wait to see him next season again. But now it is time to talk to our race winner here from a last chance qualifier in Barcelona. The man himself down there with Lauren, Tom Rogers.
Tom, you wait with bated breath, but for all intents and purposes, it does look like you have taken the last chance qualifier and a ticket to the World Championships. Can you even believe that, as I say it out loud?
It's pretty surreal, to be honest. I've been dreaming of this moment for the last 6 months, and pretty much everything in my life has been geared towards this moment. So I'm still holding my breath because I'm still not sure when the other guys will cross the line, but yeah, we'll wait and see, I guess.
You are very much the man to beat in APAC, but a lot of us over in Europe don't know a huge amount about you. Did you find that to be a benefit when you were chasing so many European and American racers?
Yeah, probably. I think I just went out and raced my own race, but yeah, I don't think many of the guys expected me to be part of the race, so yeah, I guess that maybe helped, but yeah, not too sure.
And a massive PB to boot, a 56.05 to put in your pocket. In your Elite 15 dreams, how much does that help?
Yeah, massively. I've been hoping for a good time just based on the way the qualification system works. I'm sort of hoping they'll change that next season. It won't be time-based, but yeah, it's really good to get a fast time on the board.
That was a great battle with Hyrox. How did you get the best out of each other?
I know for me, the back half of my race is definitely my strength, so I actually haven't raced Heidi before, so sorry if I pronounced his name wrong, but yeah, I haven't raced him before, so I don't know his strengths, so I was just sort of sitting and waiting, and I knew the wall balls and my lunges are probably my two stronger legs, so yeah, it just worked out in the end.
Worked out in the end.
Yeah.
It absolutely did, Tom.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next for you now? We've only got a couple of months to prepare, it's not very long, and you have clearly got a lot of travel to contend with as well.
Yeah.
How do you approach it?
So I'll have a super easy week this week, head back to Australia, and then I think it'll be 5 or 6 weeks maybe till Chicago. So I'm racing the doubles there with Wooly in the Elite 15, and hopefully now the singles. So yeah, it'll probably just be 5 or 6 hard weeks and then a taper week into Chicago.
So it's 1 more hour to go to wait. We're going to keep our fingers crossed every step of the way. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Lauren.
Hyrox.
Yeah.
Currently sat in second, but you know better than anyone after the doubles last weekend that the wait is horrendous and you can't celebrate too soon.
Yeah.
But how does it feel to have potentially got that ticket to join the Elite 15 in Chicago?
Yeah, really well. 6 days ago in Paris, my friend Cherry and I, we thought we had it. But then in the waves later, 2 teams get under our time. So that was a really good lesson. But at the same time, after that race, I knew that I was really, really strong. And I came here just to set my own race. I wanted to start hard and just keep on going with my own pace, and that paid off with a really good time for me. So even if people are going under my time, I'm really happy with what I did today here.
But you haven't raced in the pro as an individual for months.
Yeah.
So how did you kind of adapt on the fly, especially in a field like that?
Yeah, like last year in Nice, I had a really good time in the age group, so then I wanted to take another step. But those races after Nice really disappointed me. So then I really took some time to get a really good training block in. And I changed a few things. The thing I actually changed the most is my mindset. I wanted to have more fun in training and in racing, and that paid off really well.
It really did. And now, Chicago is in your grasp and you're joining the Elite 15. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, a lot. I raced one major before in Stockholm, and after that race I knew that I wanted to do this more often, especially after last year, which was like a really shit year for my family. So yeah, I'm also quite emotional, to be honest. So it means a lot. My parents, normally they go with me everywhere. They went to Las Vegas, they went to Manchester, they went to Nice, to Stockholm, but they can't be here today. But it means a lot, to be honest. Yeah.
It was incredible to watch. You did an unbelievable job.
Thank you, thank you.
John, after the most agonizing wait, it gives me the utmost pleasure to tell you that you are going to the World Championships in Chicago.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that was quite nerve-wracking to wait around for, was it like 40 minutes, 30 minutes or so? But really glad I was able to secure that third spot, and just really proud right now, yeah.
It's just been a series of not quite enoughs, not quite there, didn't quite get it. So to finally get the job done in the manner that you did, what does that mean to you?
It means a lot. This is deja vu from last season, where I did the majors, wasn't able to qualify, left it to the last race. I had to go through all the majors this season, you know, missed by 5 seconds in Hong Kong, was able to turn up here and just get the job done. So, you know, my whole sort of philosophy of staying in the fight and not giving up, it's exactly what I had to do again.
I mean, your mindset is something to be admired. Did you feel there was a point to prove, that you needed to prove some people wrong?
Yeah, I did, yeah, and myself as well. This is tough. I put a lot into this. There's a lot of young guys coming through. Because I couldn't get it done in the majors, there was a little bit of doubt, I guess. But these are the races that count. When we're all together, these are the best athletes in the world, so it means a lot.
Well, I hope you can enjoy this and you have a jam-packed training schedule ahead.
It's going to be busy. It's going to be tough, but I can't wait to get out there and go into my third World Champs.
We can't wait to see you. Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
And now we have our fully qualified World Championship contenders in the elite men. Obviously starting out all the way back in Amsterdam, Rončević, Kelly and Shadeg set the standard. And here we close in Barcelona with Tom Rogers, Hidde Wiersma and John Wynn finally securing his ticket. What a race we have in store in Chicago. Now it's only a couple of months away, so strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. It's not long to wait. We will see you stateside.